Good night to my fellow Barbadians and diaspora. It's a privilege to be here, and I hope that we can have a good session and a good show tonight. I'm very impressed with what Mrs. McLean gave in terms of her presentation, and it was absolutely fabulous. I learned a lot because I didn't realize that in June to September that we didn't have the numbers that we needed. So, as a young person, I feel very informed as well, and I hope that person can learn from my presentation tonight.
Yes, sir. Well, go right ahead. We are waiting, to hear from you and to learn from what you are presenting. This is an educational show, so go right ahead, sir.
I'm just waiting for it to show up.
To come in. Okay, yeah, it's going to show up just about now once we get settled here. Yes, yes. Okay, there should be there.
It's take
Ah, there it is.
it's
There it
taking a while.
is.
It worked last time.
Yes,
Oh,
it should
it's
be
up.
there right now.
Okay,
It's
great,
there.
excellent.
Yeah.
Um, all right, great. Start from the beginning. All right. So good night, everyone. My presentation tonight is entrepreneurial opportunities for the youth in Barbados. Creating multiple sources of revenue is the key to our future. My presentation tonight is not a quantitative one; it's more of a qualitative one. As Mom spoke to us, and told us that we needed to review the year, I basically said to myself, what would I like to review tonight? And to me, we don't pay a lot of attention to the entrepreneurs in our society, especially those in the youth category. So it's absolutely imperative tonight to at least show them some respect and appreciation. I'm not able to show every single entrepreneur that is doing great things in our country, but I just pointed out three individuals that are looking at issues that we face today here in Barbados and how they are trying to be a change for the country. So my first slide, as I said before, topics of discussion: digital services opportunities, technological development opportunities, designing for exports, solution to improve the food growth process. And those are the 4 points that we're looking at. Because as I said before, the individuals that I will be looking at are individuals who have created solutions to these problems. Not only that, I'll be looking at other opportunities in addition to it that persons in my age group or even older can venture into. So the first one, digital services. Working remotely from multiple for multiple companies allows greater income generation. You can work from home. You can work from anywhere. Hours are flexible depending on contractual agreements. You can explore other business and employment ventures while you work. And that's a great thing because it allows the individual to expand their horizons and be able to, bring in more income. Yes, we know we are having a serious cost of living situation in our country, but the only way to realistically solve it is not being dependent on one source of income. We're in a day and age that we need to adapt. We need to survive through thinking out of the box and finding ways to utilize our other skills because a person is not just, for example, an accountant. They may have other artistic skills that they can utilize, just for example. So, how it benefits the country. Given the population per capita of Barbados, an individual may be able to generate the income of two or more individuals, which as a result will allow for greater disposable income. As I just said, in a household or typical household, most Bajans may be a mother, father, or they may be a nuclear family or even an extended family. And if we can say that, given a sample size of we say three adults in the family who are the income bringers, they may be able to bring the income of six. It may not be um as the same sorry, it may not be the same amount that they are generating from their primary income, but is an additional disposable income, allowing for greater economic activity as well. Continuing, digital services can be an additional industry to tourism, allowing our economy to expand. And as I said before, it is imperative for us to utilize our digital mark. And when I say digital mark, I mean that I may be here in Barbados. but I don't have to just be a consumer. I can be an actor of the digital and global economy, whereby I can bring in more money for me, for my family, for my country. So that's how it benefits our country, because if we are bringing in more money through services, whereby as a small island we cannot necessarily bring in a lot of money through productivity with respect to manufacturing, it allows for what? Our economy to expand and the foreign exchange to grow. And if that is the case, then certain stipulations or policies can be put in place to ease the country. Persons speak about the government making certain policies that are not um, favorable for a lot of individuals, but we as the society and the civilization and the civilians in our country must play our part as well. Start ways. This is an organization that was embraced by our government, and what it is great. It's basically saying that if you as an individual want to work from home, or even you're working at a office, or you're working from wherever you want, you can utilize your skills and work for countries in work for companies in the United States and Canada, which is an absolute amazing opportunity. Why? Because if you prove to these companies that you are a great employee or even a great contractor, they may be able to say, look, I can vouch for this person. He or she can visit my country, or he or she can actually work in my country. Yes, it may be counterintuitive for the Barbadian mission, but at the end of the day, it's great benefit to the diaspora, because, as I said before, it's all about creating value for our economy. Continuing, this is an article written by Barbados Today, and just to gloss over the article, they're basically saying that in 2024, Celeste Foster, she is the director of operations for Startways. She basically said that their goal is to get 1,000 young people to be trained and start to work through Startways, which is a great initiative. So I hope that the Barbadian populace can hold into this goal, and we'll be able to actually start to see the benefits of this union between Startways and the government of Barbados, especially that of the people of Barbados. Continuing, technological development opportunities. A lot of individuals are not technological savvy, right? But we live in a day and age that it is easy to create value through technology. Let me explain. Why you why the youth should get into technological development. Coding courses are free and accessible. Yes, we know that if you want to do a course such as accounting or other um, certified courses, you have to go to a accredited university or accredited organization. But with coding, that's not necessary. A lot of countries and companies are taking persons on the ability that they can pass the interview process. Once you know the knowledge that is necessary to create applications or do your job, right? With that being said, it allows the opportunity for an individual to not necessarily go through the university route, but go straight into the job creation route, especially that of the entrepreneurial perspective, right? So, why, as I said before, why should the youth get into technological development? Coding courses are mostly free, as I said before, accessible via YouTube. There are apps and softwares that can help to make your idea a reality faster. The country's public and private sectors have many problems that require digital solutions, and we can look at what was spoken before. So what's spoken of before with respect to the presentation. That's a problem, and it needs solving. So one of the solutions that can be implemented is a technological based solution. Continuing, education as a catalyst. And the reason I'm going towards education is because there's an individual in our country, a wonderful young lady, who created a solution to a problem that was faced from COVID till now. And looking at the points I'm trying to bring across here in this slide, it is a catalyst. And if you want to grow in anything, you have to continue to learn. That is granted. And given that now today our government is saying that they want to improve education or reform education, I believe that this individual has taken the problem and tried, or even if you say implemented a solution, a plausible solution to the problem. So I will introduce Private Caribbean Study Goals. This company was created by its CEO, Jasmine Green, whose mission is to create a productive online space for students to be supported in their efforts of achieving CXC and CAPE success. Dream big and set goals, set achievable goals, whether it's academic success, personal growth, or community engagement. Establishing clear objectives provides direction and motivation. While explore while ex- sorry, we'll explore effective goal setting strategies to propel you towards success. And this is one of the mission statements of Private Caribbean Study Goals. I took this is a direct quote from them because to me they are a company, and Jasmine, the leader, is a company that is trying to prove what I just said. Technological development is absolutely necessary for the future of Barbados, especially solving our problems, private or public. So this is the website. This is the homepage, and as you can see in the corner, and you can see the different headers as well. You, her company looks at the timetable, giving the persons or the students structure. It has reviews from the students, so it's not something that's just out there and it's not credited. Students actually have said that they enjoy the program, and it's volunteer based. So the teachers are actually students. It's students teaching students. So looking at that, it is a sustainable model, and it's not only my own opinion or best opinion, but it's one that has been invested by a venture capital organization called Fairhood. And in the next study, you'll see that Jasmine won a 25,000 prize this year. And as I said before, it's not my own opinion. It's been approved by an organization that is accredited. She won the prize and currently is looking at investing the money into her business. But it just shows as young people and any young person who's listening right now and who have heard what I said before, you can do this. Using technology, you can create anything you want. We live in a digital age, young or old, you can create anything you want. So just take Jasmine as an example of the potential or the possibilities for you. Continuing, a lot of persons today have feared the rise of artificial intelligence. And the reason I brought it up is because given that we are a small island developing state, some person may say, well, AI is going to take over and it's going to stop us from getting digital jobs or even certain jobs. That may be the case. But just like in America or other countries, mining was once one of the biggest industries in the world. I mean, it still is at a certain point. But coal mining, being more specific, has died. Why? Because no matter what industry you look at, there are going to be industries that survive forever or for a long period of time, and there's industries that are going to evolve. And I believe as a Caribbean region, as a Barbadian diaspora more specifically, we must take into consideration what is going on. We must embrace AI. And one of the major AI companies right now is ChatGPT. It's taking the world by storm, and it's helped persons to increase their productivity immensely. And no matter what you look at, you can use it for the benefit of yourself. And I'm going to show you an example. As I said before in my prior slides, you don't have to be a coder necessarily to learn to code. But even though you may not be able to code, they have different applications to help you, provide you with the ability to earn more money. Create your ideas, right? So, if that being said, I look at the benefits of AI. Um, AI allows you to create, as I said before, create and and builds the applications so that you can turn them into reality and make money. But how can you use it to benefit yourself? And my points here, it's all about prompting. You can't just say create an app for me. It's going to say what exactly you want, or it may give you a different response. Granted that you have to know what you're doing. You have to correctly prompt it. You have to give it clear and precise examples or details, kind of understand or as much as possible understand the subject information. And if you can, or I would suggest that you do, research how to use it or research the subject that you want to implement. Right? It's applicable to technology. It's applicable to persons who do writing tasks. It's applicable to everyone in this world, right? Especially those who live here in the Barbados. Yet, granted that, I'm going to show you an example. So most individuals here or across the diaspora who are listening do not know what is MERN or model view control is. But just to show you, you have to be very specific. I can't come and say, as I said before, create an app for me. I said create a MERN model view controller app for a media system in Express.js. Granted that it gave me code. I can't show you all the code because that would take forever, but it gave me a lot of code. And I hope that the diaspora could trust that and what I'm saying. It gave me a lot of code. It showed me um, the information it would need to create a UI, the user interface. It gave me the code for the database. It gave me the code to start the project. And once you know the information, as I said before, or you research the information, even getting a mentor to help you, you'll be able to create applications. But if you are not interested in going through that whole process, there's also the app builder process, which is done by Flutterflow. And if you can see in the corner, it says AI generated project. And this is amazing. It's actually improving all the time. So it's not going to be something that's just going to be um, broken or, not to the highest level. It's to the highest level. It's to the highest standard. So you can just pull and drag different parts of the application and put it where you want it to go. And then you have the ability to connect to your database. Everything is simple. You just have to research tutorials, just like if you were using Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel for those who are old or young, and you can start to build your own applications. And some person may say that, well, if that's the case, would it not affect those who are developers? No. As I said before, coal mining was once one of the biggest industries in America and also the world. But if we do not evolve, even those who are in the software industry, if we do not evolve, then how can we grow as a small island developing state? We can't. We need more individuals using their intellect because a lot of Barbadians have skills, but you know one thing you know for sure, all Barbadians have a high intellect. And granted that, and not only that as well, we have the ability to create at a high level. Prime example, the monument that was created next to Parliament. That is an example of high creativity, just to show what we can do as Barbadians. And given that as well, I believe in the digital space we can create the same results. More Barbadians creating these results can allow for us to generate more income. Continuing. Another way for persons to use technology to generate income is e-commerce. If you do not want to create applications, they're ready to go applications already and websites out there that you can just place your products out there and grow and earn income. So to elaborate my points, through services such as Shopify and Etsy, individuals can set up their own digital shops. Secondly, items sourced from manufacturers or homegrown for export can be made available to the global market. This is a great opportunity for all Barbadians to explore, as the global market is large and has many opportunities through the internet. As I said before, this is an example from my next slide of what the setup looks like. And as you can see, this individual has a large user base, but you can have a large user base as well. This is not my account, if anyone was wondering. This is a person who is just sharing their experience with the world. So just to show you for evidence that you can do it as well. Continuing, I would like to give homage and hope everyone can pay attention to this young lady, a brilliant young lady. She's been doing this for 5 years. Her name is Melissa Ali. And what she's doing is basically creating value through tradesmen, through using her eye for design and the ability of a lot of our individuals who go to the polyclinic and other um, certified workshops and mentors to create value for our people and for the global market. So this year, I'm not mistaken, recently, in November, sorry, she was on CBC and spoke about creating her first furniture line. And she mentioned in her interview that person may say that, well, it may be expensive to create furniture here in Barbados, but it's also very expensive to import it, which was a great point. I've heard in the food spaces that we should buy local, but I think in this space as well, we should buy local with respect to furniture, right? Continuing, this is her working with one of the tradesmen, right? Melissa is a great entrepreneur. Given this, we can see that she engages with the individual to create high value. Most persons who are CEOs or in businesses are not hands-on, but persons such as herself, young persons, are being hands-on with their product, are being involved in the process and being respectful to their workers. That has to be commendable. That has to be recognized because it gives young persons, young tradesmen, the job or the opportunity to create a value for their work to be adored by the world. Continuing, this is her website. I hope persons will be interested in going and look at it for themselves. Next slide. Right. So I could not finish my presentation without talking about the food crisis. And given this, I will show an individual who is trying to be a positive member of the agricultural society. The food crisis, the cost of food goods have increased due to a lack of local sustainable food growth and imports. Most arable land has been designated to sugarcane production, as we all know, and many Bajans are fed up with um, this current situation. Many young people as well have lost interest in being a part of the agricultural sector. The government spoke about Guyana and us having a food corridor, which was referenced on um, the Barbados Broadcasting Corporation news reports. This is all well and good, but we are not seeing the results. To me, this is theoretical, and I hope in the future, in 2024, as this is a review of 2023, it would manifest, and we would realize that it's about time that we either find other uses for sugarcane, or, which is more important, creating and planting valuable products to reduce the food cost. And I hope that would be the goal for 2024. We will start to see it, as I said before, manifesting. But there are young persons who, regardless of the social norm of our age group, who are trying to be a part of the change. As I said before, the individual here is Brian Durant. His farm is Green Haven Farms, and he won an award by the Seed Program, which is sponsored by, as you can see there, First Caribbean. And when he won this award, it was very interesting because he took a technological approach to farming, which across the world is being done, but here in Barbados, it is minimal. And persons such as himself must be recognized and respected for their efforts. Continuing, you can see here the article is written by Sharia Braffett. I hope persons will go and read it and pay some homage and respect to young Brian. And if you see him, just give him a good word of encouragement, because a lot of young persons just need that. Yeah, you're doing good. Keep it up. How can I help? They just need that just to keep them going. Some honorable mentions. 10 Habitats is an organization that helps young people and other young developing business organizations to grow in their own right. The National Transformation Initiative is helping as well. We cannot ignore them. Yes, we speak about the bads of the government, but we also must look at the persons who are trained, as they have programs with respect to financial literacy, personal money management, all on their website, and it's free. So that has to be commended. Every year, the $20 challenge goes into secondary schools and provide individuals with the opportunity to face, I wouldn't say near poverty, but I would say having a minimal amount of money and creating value, which is commendable. Mr. Executive takes young men and shows them the roots of what is necessary to be a gentleman and a potential CEO. The Barbados Entrepreneurship Fund is well spoken for. It tries. It goes out there and gives us opportunities. We have to commend them. Yes, as I said before, we speak about the bads or the ill wills of the government and the government institutions, but we must recognize good as well. And finally, the Barbados Trust Fund Limited, another great organization. It provides young people and other age groups with the opportunity to grow wealth, to generate income for their families. To conclude, I hope everyone took something from my presentation. It was clear and concise. But to me, in this review, I don't want to leave out any other organization or young person. But given the time that I was given, I couldn't speak about everyone. So noting that, I commend every young entrepreneur out there who is doing the positive thing, the honest thing, and looking for work in them own self and providing work for others. That has to be commended. And I hope Barbadians all across the island can come and say to them, you're doing good. Because we see a lot of negatives on social media saying, oh, the young people this, young people that. But I don't hear any commending of these young persons as much as possible, not even in the YouTube comments. And I can say this personally because I read the YouTube comments. I don't miss any of the CBC or Nation News videos. I always pay attention to what's going on in the country. So being a young person, I hope that y'all can speak to these young persons and give them a word of encouragement. Yes, we all in Barbados don't have the money to invest. That is the case, but at least a positive word can go far. I thank you for listening to me, and I hope it was interesting and also entertaining, and not only that, informative. Have a good night.